So, the story starts. I went to a lovely boys' school and played hockey and rugby and did the school plays. And I loved the school plays, they were great. It was about the only time we actually got to see the girls, which was nice. So that was one of the first reasons why I started doing it. But also it was fun and it was silly, very different to the other part of school life. And so I kind of got the love for it then, really. I loved my old boys' school. I think partly because, again, it came from my parents going, you've got so many things on the table here for you to do in terms of the extracurricular stuff. Just make the most of it. And so that's why I did the kids' plays. That's why I did sports and the school choir. And I think I enjoyed being busy. I also made sure I did a lot of stuff outside of school as well. I think it's very easy to get into that kind of private school bubble. Whereas if you have something to ground you, so for me it was children's parties and I was playing Olaf the Snowman from Frozen to The Incredible Hulk to The Greatest Showman, which has some weird kind of life poetry with it, and then working with Michael afterwards. I actually really enjoyed playing Jack Frost, which was one of our winter shows, because I had this fake glittery beard and like mad peroxide like white hair. And he was a bit of a geezer. He was like the geezer Jack Frost, the guy around like, all right kids. And yeah, and it was fun.
Really like got into it.
Oh, it was full on method. Yeah. The person that did at the time was Sir Ian McKellen. I watched him do Waiting for Godot when I was about 15 on a school trip at the Milton Keynes Theatre. Shout out MK. But yeah, it was, me and my mum and dad growing up, we watched Saturday night blockbuster films. It's like your Die Hards and stuff, right? It's lots of guns, lots of running. And I didn't, maybe musicals as well. We go see the Panto every year, but my discography, my filmography wasn't particularly vast. So then I saw this play that was very untraditional and very metaphoric. And seeing the guy that I knew as Gandalf, as Magneto, as my reference, doing something completely different and really commanding this stage, and that inspired me to go, right, that is an actor. That's not just a celebrity, that's an actor. Yeah, it made me realise at the time, and this is still true now, I don't want to be a celebrity, I just want to be a famous actor. I want to be someone that's known for being brilliant at what they do. There's someone that, when you look at them on stage or on screen, you're not seeing that person in the role, you're just seeing the role. And that's kind of what I see when I saw Sir Ian McKellen, and I still do now. And now there's other people that definitely fit that bill as well. I'm trying to think, I think Michael Fassbender's great as well. I think he gets lost into his roles. And I think that's where I want to be seen at. It was Casualty, was my first job. I've then since done the medical trifecta. So I've done a Casualty, I've done a Hobby City, and I've done Doctors. 2 of which are no longer, which is really sad because they're really great jobs for graduates to come out and really learn what it is to be on a set. But yeah, so, and then again, how old was I? I was 20, I wasn't even 21. I booked my first job. So I was like, easy. What is everyone talking about? This is easy. Not even at drama school yet, and I got my first job. Like, Scorsese's gonna be on the phone next month, let's go. And then you come back down to reality and go, okay, I see it's not quite so easy as that. I did Kingsman. I think that was maybe a year after I graduated. I was also a CGI monkey in that one as well. No, I was wearing a balaclava for pretty much all of it. So I played Eggsy's dad in a flashback, which is kind of the beginning of the movie. And when I auditioned for it, it was like, right, you're gonna be doing these 2 or 3 scenes with Colin Firth. Oh my God, this is gonna be huge. This is this massive action movie. You need to look like Taron. So I just dyed my hair black because I was doing a production of Dracula for Edinburgh Fringe. My agent then rings me and goes, why the hell is your hair black? You need to dye it back to what it normally is because you need to look like Taron. So I box dyed it back. Then I get there, they then shave my hair off when I get the job, and it's just like a leopard, right? Because all the different dyes not quite gone there. You go, right, we're going to put you in a beret when we do see your face, and then we'll put a balaclava on you. And it ended up being much more of just a physical role with some ADR. But the credits were in order of appearance, and I was the first scene. So it was like Mark Strong, Colin Firth, Jonno Davies, and that, like, honestly, every time that I get you know, like a casting release and something I'm in, they always say Kingsman first, even though I had about 3 lines. That was really exposing the Kingsman one. So I'd done the Doctor stuff, and that everything feels like a family there, right? Because they're just, it's like a revolving door with that. It's, you bring your guest actors in, they have their storyline, and they go, and you have the guys that are always there as regulars. And you're in Cardiff, and everything's just quite cozy. Then you go on to something like this, Pinewood, and you're in a massive hangar, and there is a crew of hundreds, and every second is budget ticking along. And we had to do some on-set ADR, and it kind of only just been brought in to do this scene. And it's like, right, we need silence on set, and all of a sudden there's this hangar full of hundreds of people who have to stop what they're doing, and they're looking at you, and you're saying your lines. And yeah, that was really exposing, and that's probably the smallest I've felt maybe on a set, because I felt like an imposter at that moment. Not because I felt like I was doing anything wrong, but I felt very small compared to everyone else, and felt very uneducated as to what was needed to be done, and didn't feel like I had the position to ask questions, and was sort of winging it, and then you get flustered. And so I made sure after that experience that I really tried to just ground myself, give myself a moment. You're there for a reason. I'm trying to develop my spine more and more as well, you know, and it's not about being a diva, it's just about things like, if you're not happy with something, vocalize it early before it becomes something that you cannot manage and it can't be changed. Hair and makeup want you to feel good. The director wants you to feel good, and if you can collaborate and find you know, a common ground, that's great. And obviously that's quite a trivial thing. There's more important things about how you're placing your character into the story. Yeah, the last things I've done, especially since Better Man, which really did give me the confidence, you know, it was my first time being a lead on a big budget movie. It made me go, right, I can be here, I can command a set, I can lead a set. And so I have got an opinion that's worth listening to, and everyone has an opinion worth listening to, but it took that to kind of give me the confidence to feel that. As a genre, my go-to animation movies, absolutely, I just love them, every single one. Better Man was just the most incredible thing. It really did come out of nowhere. It came at a time for me when I was really considering to stop acting. I was struggling with the not acting, I was struggling with the self-value, the imposter syndrome. And then Better Man came along, and my agent just said, look, the director of Better Man wants to, of Greatest Showman, wants to Zoom with you about this Robbie Williams biopic. Are you game? I was like, let me think about that. Chatted to him and got on really well. He kind of showed me the previs of what it would be, because all I'd heard at that point is that this Robbie was going to be played by a CGI monkey. And without seeing anything, your mind starts to spiral. It's like, what, is it going to be a cartoon, or is it hyper-realistic? I don't know. So he showed me previs, and he kind of showed me the first musical number and the last one, and all of a sudden it made total sense. He showed me some clips of Robbie talking about himself feeling like a performing monkey as he was in Take That, as people were kind of thrusting him onto the stage despite his mental health issues, and it all started to fall into place. Before that, I had to send a dance audition to Michael, because obviously Rob dances, and I'd said that I can dance. But yeah, we had to do this dance tape, just so you could see how I could move. And rather than doing it live, he was like, just tape it at home and send it to my email address. Here's my email address. So I do it to Rock DJ, and I'm giving it all this, and I'm giving it body waves, and all, just being a cheeky monkey. And I send it that night, and don't get a reply. I'm like, right, okay. Wake up in the morning, first thing, check the email, no reply. So I sent it to the wrong email address by like 1 letter. But it never bounced back. So someone out there has got a lovely video of me giving it large in my living room. Yeah, I do not want to know. It's going to come back to haunt me. But yeah, then eventually got to Australia. I auditioned with the girl that plays Nicole Kidman, and then I auditioned with the 4 lads that were the other members to Take That. And everyone had been out there for like a month before I got there, which I didn't realise. They'd all been rehearsing for a long, long time. So I was flown in as the last piece of the puzzle. And I had about a week to rehearse the whole film. And there's a lot of big, big musical numbers in there, as well as some heavy scenes. But I think that really helped. It meant that I didn't overanalyze what I was doing, trusting that the version that they'd seen in the audition process was where they wanted to go. So we did motion capture, performance capture. So I have a very flattering grey pyjama suit on with all the little balls and bubbles, then a helmet on with a camera attached to it, and 101 dots on my face. Then you have the hero cam, the main camera that's there, that's shooting the whole scene. You have the camera that's on me, and then you have about 50 to 100 cameras all rigged around the space capturing everything that you do. Which meant that it didn't matter if the main hero cam was on me or not, because it was always getting captured. Which meant that every take was usable, which was really, really fun, because it was just every take I could kind of go, you know, a bit left field. I could change the pacing, I could change the intention. Yeah, and then doing the musical pieces for that, you know, doing these huge numbers in front of 20,000 people in Australia, in Melbourne. I also wanted to be in a boy band. That was my other dream when I was younger. Saw when I was 5 years old, and I think that's when the match was struck, and like that's when I wanted to go. So I got to live that out. I got to live that out for a few months. So yeah, I got to be a pop star, I got to be a rock star, I got to be a monkey, I got to be the lead of a movie. I got to make some incredible friends, the four Take That lads especially. I think it shows that a lot of us have a mask, and for Rob, it was a mask that he put on himself that was also put on by others. It was, I think like I said before, his team, the people around him, they didn't want for Rob, they wanted from Rob. And so it was a case of, go and make us lots of money. I know you're sad, I know you've got a drinking problem, but just put that to the side for a bit and go out on stage and perform. And you can, you know, oh boo-hoo, your life's, you know, you're sad, but you're making multi-million pounds every year. And it was that feeling for him that he felt caged, he felt kind of misused. And it was from those interviews that Rob had with Michael, our director, which the idea about the monkey came about. And for us, for the film, it allowed us to really transcend into a whole nother world, right? Especially with a musical, you want, a song in a musical always happens when words are no longer enough. And having a monkey as the main figure allows us to then really go into a fantasy world and have some really artistic choices in terms of the shots that we use as well. Back to what I first said is a lot of us having a mask, a lot of us having a different version, a version that we put on ourselves when we go into spaces where we don't feel comfortable, or where we feel like we need to impress, or we feel like we can't be ourselves. And that's very true for Rob. I think some people's masks are thinner than others. It's a closer version of themselves. And then some people have a very different, you know, whether it's a wall or whether it's a springboard into them feeling more confident and more comfortable in their own shoes. But yeah, I think we all have our own little mask. Looking at where I love starting with the body first, whether it's motion capture or not. So for me, it was seeing where he leads from in his body when he walks, seeing if he's direct or indirect when he moves, if he's light or heavy in his body, and then adding the real kind of details that make Rob Rob, kind of when he holds his earlobe, sometimes when he talks about something where he's a little bit more vulnerable, his inflection on his speech, because obviously the voice is so important. When you can't see my face, I've really got to try and recreate his voice as well. So it was just details, details, details. It was every waking hour was on YouTube, and then getting in the shoes myself and trying to do it myself. We did a massive like-for-like concert of Rob's famous Nebworth concert in Serbia in front of like 5,000 extras doing that. That was nuts. That was one of my favorite, I think, parts of the movie. I got to be a pop star again for 3 nights, which was awesome. But yeah, and then I was doing stuff in my bedroom. I was doing pickups from my bedroom. There would be little script changes, you know, little line changes. And rather than getting the whole crew together, which is very expensive, and because of the technology we were using, we were able to just set 2 iPhones up at 45-degree angles, have it as an ultra close-up, and I would just be doing these new lines and whatnot, and from my bedroom, yeah. And then they were able to take that, because it's so close, they didn't need the dots or anything. And then the visual artists at Weta, who were in charge of the VFX, were then able to just, you know, just morph from what my original mouth movements were to around the next one. I just want to immerse myself in everything. I love to do more motion capture. Andy Serkis came to our premiere, who is obviously the Godfather performance capture. And you know, hearing him ask me about my process was just a kind of a ridiculous moment. You know, the man that brought Gollum and Caesar and everything like that. So I was telling him I'd love to do some more motion capture that, not a monkey again, but something, you know, like Avatar, that a new world is created and a new physicality is created. And I think that's what's so brilliant about motion capture, is that you can bring that alive.
Feel like yourself when you finally let someone in and give you some help. Hey, yeah, what you want.